Hey guys, on today's Board Game Rundown, I'm going to talk about all the stuff I'm interested in at Origins.
There's 2 new bits of Grand Gamers Guild news coming out.
Someone had a birthday, and we played a lot of games.
So many games.
And some unfortunate shipping information for Sheol right now. Very sad, and we all kind of talk about what we think of it and how we hope they can push through this.
All that and more coming up.
We need it done this year.
Hey guys, I'm Tim.
I'm Bob.
I'm Spencer.
Dan.
And this is Board Game Rundown. Today we're going to talk about games we played, some crowdfunding news, not in that order, because I mixed it up.
Again.
You're welcome.
Oh,
Yeah.
jeez.
I know, right? Hey, listen, if you always mix it up,
Is it really mixed up?
is it really mixed up? Right?
Yeah. But
Right.
first, make sure you like, subscribe, and ring the bell, and share these videos with all your friends so they too can be in the know with what we know.
Alienate your friends and family by
Yes.
sharing our videos. Also, be sure to get on the Discord channel. We transitioned over to a new Facebook page because when we originally started the show, I converted my old gaming group, River City Gamers private Facebook group page to Board Game Rundown.
Mm-hmm.
And, it's like, oh, well, if 5 people watch this, cool, super fun. Well, we have more than 5, which is awesome.
8.
And so, yes, 10.
Oh, sorry.
And now we've made a public page, so it's going to be easier for people to find us and everything. So thank you for everyone who's been on the old one. We're going to start ignoring that. I'm going to probably change the name of it and...
To eliminate confusion.
Yes,
Yeah.
to eliminate confusion. And then we'll just confuse you on the main public page, but it should be easier to find us. We still encourage all the same awesome content and posts of things you guys are playing and what you're interested in. And then also, again, like we said on the Discord, we've got like literal chat threads for topic suggestions, which we have stolen from you. Well, you were
It's not stolen. They gave
it to us, right?
Yeah, it was the point of the channel.
Yes, yes. The point of the channel was to glean ideas off of you, but also we just have all kinds of conversations going on there about all sorts of stuff, and it's a pretty nice community we got going on. So we'd like for you to be a part of that. Anyways, so guys, games we played.
Games we have played.
Wow, did
Games
we play
played.
a lot?
A bit.
I played quite a few.
I don't know if I played a lot, but also I always forget to write down all mine. But I got some good plays, right?
Yeah.
I'll say that.
Plus,
good.
I mean,
They're
it's been
quality.
a while,
been a while.
and we had a certain birthday party,
We did.
so there were a lot of games played there.
Oh, yeah, that's
Friends-
right.
that's
friends
right.
and family,
Friends and
Dan.
family. Yeah.
Friends and
Friends.
family and people that don't and work on Saturdays.
Hey,
Yeah.
hey,
Yeah.
it happens.
Yep.
It happens.
Had a Meeple meetup in there too, so.
Which I wasn't at. So
Yeah.
neither was Dan.
Also, Saturdays. Great.
Ouch.
There's a trend.
About that. Okay,
Okay.
so guys, I played 13 games yesterday.
Wow, did you have to
Okay.
put on?
Oh, my
11
list-
different ones, but like 13 games.
My list starts with Andrews, so I'll hop in when you guys talk about Andrews.
I'm not going to talk about
I
Andrews
know.
because I wasn't there.
Let's talk about
sure.
the important
Why don't you
people
guys
at
get
the table.
started?
Yeah, so the Meeple meetup that we had here, for those who don't know, the Meeple Gaming Society is one of our local groups that plans board game meetups at local game stores.
Northwestern Indiana, Southwestern Michigan.
Yep.
You can come from anywhere you
can come
want.
from anywhere you
but
want, but if you're in that general area, find us on Facebook and join up, and you'll get the notifications for when those are announced. That being said, Foundations of Rome got played twice that day. I played it once, so people walked in, saw it, like, I want to play that too, so played it again. Between Two Castles of Mad King Ludwig. Got that played. I was
Yes.
excited.
Oh,
Finally got
play
my
that
copy
again.
played, so I was excited for that. That's a great one. I love the... it's the best mashup, right, between those two games together. It's better than both of them.
I hope to see, like, in the future, like, other games
More
I love
mashups.
that they just
mash them
mash
together and make them better. Yeah,
Yeah.
that'd be great. Played The Quacks of Quedlinburg.
Yep.
It's a classic. Everybody likes that.
They
one.
should
I think
mix
it's like
that and
two-year-old classic.
smartphone
Yeah.
for Dan,
Dan.
and then he would have like Dan's favorite game.
It would
ever.
be.
Right.
He's like, well, it couldn't be worse than the other two games.
Yeah.
And then we played Ascension, Curse of the Golden Eye. Yeah. Which
Yeah.
is, I think, one of my favorite versions of
It's
Ascension.
a really neat version.
Yeah.
That's
I
the
like.
one that we reviewed recently.
Yes.
Correct. Yeah,
Yeah.
we reviewed that. Where would that be, Dan, if we had a review for that?
Up there.
All right, thanks. Ooh, right in
Right in Spencer's eyes.
face. Yeah.
He
Sorry,
said he
Spencer.
needed to go to an optometrist earlier. Now I understand why. It's all little
his
clicks.
fault.
Yeah.
But no, that's a great one, right? So instead of having just like the normal lineup like every other one, The cards are at these different like docking sites.
They're
and
like
then-
locations.
Like locations, yeah, and
Yeah.
you've got a little ship, and you can move your ship around, and you can buy from anywhere. But if you're at a location, you can use the wild resource to purchase things, or you can also get like anchor effects and steal treasures from your opponents. And
Yeah,
whatnot.
and then the ghost can come.
yeah,
take,
pirate,
take all
Dread
your
Pirate
wild stuff.
ghost comes
Roberts.
around. Yeah, comes around
Yeah.
and steals resources from you. So yeah, it's a pretty cool like mix and a twist on that game.
Yeah. I like it.
And then we played one together, the Gutterfall Bounties.
Yeah, we did play Gutterfall Bounties.
Yeah,
So that's coming to Kickstarter soon. That's a. I mean,
hand management.
I don't like to call it Clue because I think it's way better than Clue, but it is kind of like
like
Clue.
deck
If you
builder,
boil it down to
Clue-esque.
its very basic thing.
I don't
Yeah.
mean to call it Clue. I just
You're just
I would
finding Colonel Mustard.
like
You don't
say
need
it's
the
simple.
murder weapon or what
Right.
room he did it.
Pretty
Right,
sure
you already
Well,
know
then
he
you
did
need
it.
to murder Colonel
Oh, yeah.
Mustard.
Oh.
You forgot.
There's that
forgot
little
that
twist.
part.
Capture it.
Pretty sure when we opened the box, that joke was made.
But that's gonna bring me to Andrew's game night. So if any of you
Yeah.
guys wanted to jump in for games before
Sure.
that,
Andrew's game night. We started off with. I'm
Planet
looking at the
Unknown.
wrong one.
Planet
Yeah.
Unknown.
I know.
Planet Unknown.
I have it written
Planet
down. I was
Unknown.
just trying to let
Search
you
for
talk
Planet
too.
Unknown?
Just Planet Unknown. You're
Just
thinking of
Planet-
Search for Planet X.
Yes, I get
Not
it all.
Search
Search
Planet
for
X.
Planet X Unknown.
Right.
There's your
So
mashup.
Planet Unknown.
Unknown. Yeah.
First, you
There's
have to
like a-
find the game.
Yeah,
Then, once you find where it is in the universe, then you can go and play it.
that's right.
Okay.
But it's like
there I
Tetris
found it.
in space.
Yes.
Yeah.
One half is Tetris. The other one is just management. And you
Upper
have
management?
tiles that
No,
you.
it's a middle management game.
One person is going to
like
get. It goes around. One person gets to choose which set of tiles they're going to choose from.
Yeah.
And everyone else is forced to pick from the one that's facing them.
Yeah, it's a
And-
big rotating
Yeah.
Lazy Susan.
Lazy
Lazy
Susan,
Susan.
with cutouts.
And the tiles not only have shapes that have to fit onto your map, but they also have different
Terrain types.
Terrain types,
Yeah.
which correspond to your four.
Like research tracks.
Different
and
Five,
stuff.
five tracks, I think it
tracks.
is. Yeah.
Yeah, and so when you play one, you can move the tracks up, and when you move the tracks up, they do different things.
Yep,
One's
score
like the
points,
rovers.
move rovers, unlock techs.
You're trying
things
to
like that.
make whole lines across the entire planet, and
Yep.
that gives you points.
Yep.
As long as there's not a meteorite on that
Obstructing the.
line. Yes.
Mm-hmm.
And then you've also got these two goals that you're sharing with your either neighbor.
Yes, I did enjoy
trying to
that.
be, boy,
Between
did I
two
suck at that.
cities.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah,
thing.
so you,
Match up.
you deal out objective cards between players, and basically you're just competing with the people on the side of you for those objectives.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a very cool system.
It is. I sucked at the game, but I had a good time.
Yeah.
I liked it. I'll play it again.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to playing it again. We might actually play it shortly today, and looking forward to playing it again. I enjoyed it quite a bit. I mean, again, when I first saw it, I wasn't exactly sure what it was. Then he set it up, and then when he was teaching the rules, I was like, oh, they took my favorite part of Tapestry, and they were like, now
yeah.
this is the game.
Right.
Like it's just
Is that
like
just
a-
moving up the tracks? Is that
space.
your favorite part?
Yeah,
or is
yeah.
it Tetris on your...
No, the little
Or is it the
Sudoku
Lazy
board. Sudoku.
Susan?
Yeah. Oh, I
It's
forgot
the
about
Lazy
that
Susan part.
Yeah, that's in the Susans and Sally's
Yeah.
expansion.
Boy.
I would have liked to have
I
met the
don't know.
Susan named after her. She must have been pretty lazy to be like, you know what, I
She's
don't really
a
want to go
real
on.
peach.
Spin it.
I don't
Can we
think she
figure out a way to
cares. She's
spin
too
it?
lazy to care.
That's
Right.
probably
Wow,
true.
good point.
Right, but yeah,
Okay.
looking forward. We should have a review out for Planet Unknown pretty soon. It's a newer game. and
Will that be
we've been-
found near
we've been
Spencer's
playing
eye?
it. Well, eventually.
Eventually,
I don't know if I want to
something
snap
there.
to it yet because I can only have 5 in this video, and that doesn't
Oh, sure.
exist yet.
Okay.
But we'll see. Yeah.
Comments below.
We then played Hoity Toity.
Yep.
Paul
That sounds
brought
too fancy for me.
That was fancy.
You would love it, I think.
It was
okay.
a
Yeah.
really simple concept,
Uh-huh.
and one of those ones where it becomes strategic as you play.
Yeah. Well,
Um,
yeah, so it's like everybody's got these same set of cards. You have 2 phase 1 cards and like 5 phase 2 cards. So
They're basically
everybody in the
different
first
hands.
phase, huh?
they're basically two different hands.
Correct. So in the first phase, you're going to take one of the number 1 cards and choose either go to the auction or go to the castle. If you go to the auction, you're going to either try to bid on some of the artwork or thieve the largest money amount. But if there's more than one thief played, the thieves don't steal anything.
Right.
Nice.
You gotta
And
be
the way the
careful.
money works is very, when I saw it, it was very similar to Ra, to where you have the suns that are numbered X through X, and then they are distributed in a balanced way to where,
Sure.
okay, I have the lowest, I have $1,000, but then I also have $25,000, which is the highest amount, right? And like
Correct.
they start
All
the game like
different
that,
amounts.
but then they're going to start
So they start moving around.
Yeah,
right?
Yeah, but the thing is, you
steal
don't
them.
put one in and take it back. Now, if somebody thieves it, they take it, yes, but otherwise it just gets discarded.
Right,
Okay.
if you win.
If
yeah.
you win,
Spent.
correct,
Got it.
yeah. Then if you go to the castle, you have the chance to either exhibit your art display, try to thief art from somebody else, or play a detective. And if you play a detective, you will arrest any of the thieves that are out after they're done stealing. And then depending on how far back you are, you'll gain points for each person that's ahead of you. So it's kind of a catch-up mechanic in case you get too far behind. I remember I just kept trying to detective when I was like way behind everybody, and I was able to get like 5-10 points and catch up. So that was pretty helpful.
Yeah, I thought an interesting thing about it is everyone's got this the point track that goes around, and depending on how far you go, different sections or like properties have
Yes,
different
different castles.
values, 2 different values, and they're not linear. Whoever's at the furthest value, that's how many points they get when they win an exhibition. So it's now a strategy. Do I really want to go in on this exhibition, or do I want to wait until it gets bumped up a little bit?
Yeah.
Things like that.
Yeah,
Sounds like parts of this sound like not a weird, but an interesting, like, it's like they took for sale and kind of ramped up a few things with like the way that the bidding for like the properties.
Well, and going on the
and
same
things like
for
that
sale
work.
card thing, we should just also mention really quick how the exhibitions work, because it's the main thing in the game. We haven't even mentioned it yet. Basically, you're getting like, I don't know if you want to call it set collection, but you're getting cards that are just, they have, A, B, C, D, E, and F on them, and then they have years like 1909 and stuff.
Oh, okay.
And you just, in order to, an exhibit is just at least 3 cards. In like straight order, and you can have the same letter multiple times. You just can't skip anything.
Right.
So A, B, C would be
I
a straight, but you couldn't throw E in there because you're missing D, right? And then that's it. And when you reveal an exhibit, if multiple people are giving an exhibit, it's whoever has the most cards, and then if there's a tie, it's whoever has the oldest year. And then that's how the
That's who
exhibits
wins
work.
the
That's
exhibit.
literally it. And that, throughout the game, you're getting those when someone steals at the castle.
Wait, now when you steal, do you have to use the excuse that you were there to see the tapestries? Castle.
This is a castle,
Yeah.
and there are many tapestries.
Thank you. Okay, just checking. Just checking.
But
But if you were here to see this tapestries, and I am Mickey Mouse.
yeah, if you are Scottish Lord.
Well done.
And then so
it
when
up.
the thief steals from the castle, he takes 1 card from each player
Exhibit.
who gave
From
an exhibit.
each. That was pretty cool.
So that's huge if you can pull it off.
Yeah, if you're trying to
But
game,
now,
like,
well,
okay,
if
they're
multiple
probably
people are stealing, then does it negate everybody?
There's
thieves are numbered.
Yeah, and
Oh,
the
I see.
lower the numbered thief, the
better.
quicker
So
he
they
is.
No,
the
So,
initiative.
but in the castle, every thief goes off.
Correct.
Right.
They
At
all
the
Right.
auction
arrest.
house, they cancel each
Oh,
other
cancel
out.
each other out. Right,
Yes.
right. Okay, got it.
Yeah, it was a really
That's
neat
cool.
kind of mechanic. Yeah, I hadn't played anything like that before.
Yeah, at one point at the end, I was like, well, I could end the game, or at least trigger the end game, if I exhibit my entire hand. But someone played a thief card, and I didn't have a duplicate in the middle of my hand. I'm like, he's going to steal my non-duplicate and split my exhibit in half
Right.
for the very last round where everyone makes their biggest exhibit. And that cost me the game.
It was an interesting game that I would play
We have a
again.
list of whose fault that
Oh,
is.
yeah. I wonder who that is.
Oh yeah, hang on, I got it right here. See, it's not Dan's fault.
Nope, not on that list.
Nope, it wasn't your fault.
Nope, not on that list.
And it looks like here it wasn't my fault either.
Oh, you
that's
weren't on that
everyone's.
list?
Yeah.
You know what? I saw everybody else having fun with that. I wanted to give it a shot.
That's fun, right? It's good. Yeah, thanks,
Give it
Dan.
a shot.
Appreciate that.
Royalty-free jokes.
Yeah.
So hoity-toity sounds awesome. I think you're right.
I said
think it sounds like
yeah,
a
better
good.
I thought
higher
you would
player
like it a
count.
lot. I didn't love it, but I started kind of skeptical, and as I was playing, I was got more and more interested. And I don't know, it's definitely a mixture of interesting mechanics with clearly aged mechanics, and just kind of seeing that interesting mixture and how it played. It was a fun little
And
game.
it was a close game, except for one player. Through the entire game,
Yeah.
it was always just really right on top of each other. So it was well balanced. And then even at the end, if you are the detective and you're capturing thieves, you go up a number of points equal to your position.
Yeah.
So he's last in place. He goes up so many spots, and so it's a nice catch-up mechanic.
Right, if you're in third
So,
place, you go up 3
yeah.
and stuff
so
like
they've
that.
balanced it really well.
I said there were 2. The thing that I like most about the game, which is a staple for me, is I thought it had 2 really interesting catch-up mechanics. Like the game had built-in catch-up mechanics that at the end of the game, it was extremely close. Almost everyone could have made it if they had scored, because it was just pointless too. But almost everyone could have made it into the little final scoring area, right? Except for Andrew, and it's whatever. He was very tired.
He was. He was having a rough go.
That happens.
Yep.
All right, what else did you play? spent a lot of
I
time
brought
on
a
hoity-toity.
few.
Yes. Stuff happens.
We played Stuff Happens.
Yeah.
That's a fun one.
I played that too.
Yeah.
I played that yesterday.
Uh-huh.
So Stuff Happens is a simple party game. It's just a deck of like 200 cards, and each card has a bad thing happening on it and a misery rating. So everyone's going to take 3 cards and lay them in front of them. They have their own little misery track, kind of like in Timeline, except each person has their own. And you put them in sequential order. So it might be, I have a hangnail, that's like a 5.1. I have to eat my friends, that's like a 98.
And
then on the friend.
put that down.
It depends on the friend. And then, in the middle, you might have lose my job. And then someone else will draw a card and be like, where on your timeline would you put getting a zit on your nose? Or
Finding maggots in your rice.
finding maggots in your eyes.
Yeah.
Oh, that was gross.
Yeah.
And, of course, everyone's going to argue.
Yeah.
They're like, oh, no, that's way worse for me.
Right.
But
Completely subjective.
completely subjective.
Yeah, this is like Family Feud rules. Like,
Survey says.
Yeah,
They literally said
your
we-
opinion means nothing.
They interviewed like 100 psychiatrists and
Or
stuff,
something
or
like that,
1,000.
yeah.
1,000 psychiatrists or something. I believe they said.
Yeah.
In Timeline, do you not all have your own line? I thought
No.
you did.
Timeline, you have your own hand of cards. You're
Your
trying to
own
get rid of your
hands. Okay.
cards
Yeah.
by placing them in the timeline. And
yeah,
if
I
you
just
place them
forgot.
correctly, you have to draw another card.
But people are not going to love this game
Not
due
everyone's
to the
gonna love it.
reason that I've seen people not love this game when I've played it the multiple times that I've played it is that people say these numbers make no sense. But to me,
Sometimes.
it's like
But that's
that's
half
the
the fun.
joke.
Yeah,
Like,
exactly.
to me, is that you're trying to figure out what other people said. And then try to fit it in, and when you're wrong, I just find that funny. And it's a game that's trying to cause conversation. What?
Yeah,
That's way
exactly.
worse
Yeah,
than
yeah,
that.
yeah. That's
Yeah.
really
Take it
more what it is.
seriously.
Right.
Yeah, you're not
Also,
playing it to take it seriously.
Get over
You're not in a
it.
Right.
If you have that much of an issue with it.
Don't play
Yeah.
party
Right.
games.
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
The
do
other
something
thing
different.
I like about it is you play till someone has 10 cards, and so you start off with 3. It's going to be relatively easy to be like, oh no, that one goes on top. But when you've got 8 cards, you're like, oh,
gets tough.
crap.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I got
So,
this 6-number window I'm trying to squeeze
I got
in.
I got like
exactly.
7 in it, like boom, 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 boom. I got up to 7, like
And then you
really
couldn't
fast.
get any further?
And then it took me a minute, and I won. But it
Well,
was
sure.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, because it also depends on which misery indexes you get, right?
Yeah.
'Cause
Absolutely.
But anyway, it's a fun if you like
pina coladas.
that kind of not macabre theme, but that kind of theme on a literal timeline or illusion type game. It's pretty
Yeah.
fun.
Yeah,
That
that's
was
fine.
pretty fun.
That's fine. Better than I thought it would be.
And then there was one more, I believe, at Andrews, right? No, there were
Yeah,
two
two
more.
more.
So Shifting Stones.
Yep.
I don't know if you had seen that. Very interesting little abstract strategy kind of game where there are 9 stones. They have different designs on them, and they are double-sided. And you have cards that show you what positions you want the stones in. And on your turn, you get
4 cards.
infinite actions, but you have
4
cards. That's what it
cards.
is. Yeah.
Yeah.
So you have 4 cards, and to take an action like move a stone or flip a stone, you have to discard a card. So you're deciding how many actions you get by how many moves you want to do, and scoring a card is free. So like I could start my turn and say, oh, I'm scoring that. They're already like that. I'll discard this card to flip this one, discard this one to move this one, and score my last card, right? And then you'll draw back up to 4 at the end of your turn, and you just go around, and at the end of the game, you just have whoever has the
7
most
cards.
points wins, and it's whoever gets the 7 cards
Triggers
ends the
end.
game.
Yep.
Oh, yeah.
But I was pretty happy with it. It wasn't like mind blowing. I think that Grinto gives me a similar feeling, but it's just a deeper, more interesting game. I like Grinto a lot. But I had fun with it, and it's very pretty. And man, if someone makes a metallic upgrade where you change the cardboard tiles, because they already have like this beveled and
Yeah.
shiny look.
still
Like
like stone.
when
Like
you're looking from an
3D
angle,
almost.
it
Yeah.
looks like metal. And if
that's
they
cool.
made those metal, they'd be amazing.
Either that or stone or tile.
I guess
those
that's
would be
true.
good.
I guess that's
Yeah.
true. A tile could work too.
Yeah.
They just already
Ceramic.
look like
Yeah.
beautiful metal to me. So.
And I've played this actually like 8 times in the last week because my kids love it. That game really holds up 2-player.
okay.
That's good.
Um,
That's good.
some people said it might be better 2-player. I don't know. I'd like to try 3. But it was really good because when 2-player, I can give up cards at the end just to mess things up or
Right.
to set up for my next one.
Right.
But in 5-player, there's no point in trying to set up for my next one.
Yeah.
Right. That's definitely the negative playing with a higher player count, which I didn't care, but I could see people saying like we were even talking at the table where it's like my turn would end, and it was like I might as well not even think about what I can do with my hand because it's going to be completely different.
Yeah, board state's gonna be
Back
so
to me,
different by
right?
that time.
Yeah. But yeah, good game. And then there was just one more. We did a 2v2 game of Knockdown, which is the Nemesis, or not Nemesis, the Awakened Realms,
Awakened Realms
Mortal
Light.
Kombat. Yeah, Awakened Realms
Yeah.
Light Mortal Kombat type game where you have characters on a 2D thing where the map is made up of the box. and you're just playing cards and fighting each other Mortal Kombat style. And we were doing 2v2, so there was a tag team element, which I thought played really well.
That was pretty cool.
I liked how that tag in.
I like taking my mini and flipping out and flipping the new one.
I pulled a Tim. We're playing one part wrong.
Hold on. You did a Spencer.
We're not supposed to discard our hand to our player.
So what you're supposed to do when it's just 1v1, there's a time or an action line. You take a card and do what it says, which is an attack usually. Then it goes to your hand, and when it's in your hand, it's no longer an attack. You just use it to pay for your combos, which are on your character sheet. But in 2v2, you don't put it in your hand. You put it in your partner's hand.
Oh, okay.
But you also will draw one at the beginning of your turn, so that's how you get cards.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
We were wondering how we could feed each other different cards.
I don't think it would have made a massive
Yeah, we probably still would have won.
Probably.
It's a light game, so
Right.
I mean,
Yeah.
Well, what I like about that game is how well it goes into the theme.
It does.
Yeah. So, like, you have light wounds and heavy wounds, and the light wounds can get healed. Sort of like when you're playing one of these games, your bar goes down, but it splits, and you might be able to heal back up to the other one. But of course, you can't heal all the way.
Right.
And then you have the deck of cards. If it runs out, the timer runs out, and then you see who has the most wounds, and that person loses.
Is it Mini Steel or Runes of Zun that has that, like where you can't heal back up after a certain point? Like you get knocked down so far, you can't go back up.
Runes of Zun has the multiple lines of
tiers.
health, and
So
once you're on a different line,
tier,
you can't go up to the next line. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. And I like how you have to get cards. You have to build up your combo before you can actually use your combo.
Mm-hmm. Sure.
And also, they have 3 boxes for it. The one that's just the base game. They have one for Nemesis and one for Tainted Grail.
Right. Yeah. So it's nice. They use their own IP, give you a different.
It's a very smart idea, and we're kind of hoping it takes the route of Rolling Realms, right? Where it's like just all their future games, they can just have characters for this Mortal Kombat game, you know?
Yeah, and of course, at one point, I know I just blanked what I was going to say.
Cool.
Okay. Well, let's move on.
Go on
Because we've got a lot. I've got a lot of games to cover.
Yep.
A lot of games to cover. Okay, so I had a birthday, and my wife asked me what I wanted, and I just said I just want to play board games all day. And easiest gift. I mean, I had to get my house ready. That sucked. But yeah, so we played board games all day. So the first game I played with Mike. We played Shards of Infinity.
Nice.
I still love that game. It is a deck building. You can play up to 4 players. So far, I've enjoyed it most 1v1. I really would like to see some of the expansions for this.
Mm-hmm.
I freaking love this game. Plays nice and fast and boom, boom, boom. It's pretty straightforward.
Okay.
Then I played Foundations of Rome. Finally, I still got to think about Foundations of Rome. I don't know how much I liked it.
He got his ass kicked.
Well, okay, Bob Bad Teacher Award. Bob, not just
Bad
me.
Teacher Award.
Bob is terrible when it comes to teaching games as far as making anybody feel interested in playing it again.
Absolutely.
Because,
Damn it.
there was things
I didn't
like,
mean to do very well.
Well, then don't ever. I mean, I don't know if you tried. I mean, Julia and I could have just gone in the other room and let you finish. No, I mean, it was okay. I think for what it is, it looks amazing. But for what it is, I need to play it some more, maybe without Bob, so where it can feel at least competitive.
Yep.
Because here we are, like, we're not even sure what buildings we're putting out, and Bob is lining up these mega combos. Dick.
Bob also has played like more than 10 times now.
Yeah, and then he takes a power which then allows him to change what my hidden scoring objective was. So the measly 8 points I would have gotten, which would have made me only lose by 40 instead of 50,
42.
Shut up. Enough out of you, sir. But then also gave him 8 more points because I
had failed my original
He had failed his objective.
But I was able to replace it.
So the game's beautiful. It's very easy to learn. I don't think it's. I just don't know.
You should play it again without me.
Yeah, I should. And here, don't get me wrong. I love playing games with Bob. Like I say all of this, and it sounds like I hate Bob. I don't. I mean, I do, but I don't. I like playing games with Bob. But it was by the end of the game, and we talked about the rule, and I agreed. Like we worked through.
Yeah, and I asked
we worked through the ruling of the card, and I mean, I didn't say, no, that's BS. I don't think you should be able to do that. I mean, I said that at first. And I'm like, I think we're right.
It sucks, but.
Yeah, and it's totally fair, right? We did do one thing wrong where we had some of the
cards. Too many of the
cards
cards mixed in. It should have just been 3 in each era, and instead I just shuffled them all in randomly.
Yeah, and so, but whatever. Not I don't know that would have changed too much.
I mean, unless that card would have, but even those 16 points wouldn't have made a big difference.
Right, exactly. So anyway, super interesting game. $140
because of all the pretty mini stuff.
Yeah,
it looks amazing, and I believe that unless your FLGS kickstarted it, it's not going to go to retail. So you're going to have to find that at conventions or maybe at, what is that, Arcane Wonders? Who did that? It's at their website, whoever did Foundations. Mm-hmm. But anyways, so I'm still on the fence. I'm not going to render a verdict just yet. But
it just sounds like one of those games that plays in a way, I haven't even watched a play of it yet, though, to where you just have to be careful of, if you know how to play the game, you might, when you teach it, want to just sit out and teach it, right? I'm just saying, again, I talk openly that I think DC deck builders so well, I just don't like playing it with you because I won't stand a chance, right? And so, but if you just gave it to a bunch of random people, if me, Spencer, and Catherine all played it, and you just kind of explained it, and then we all played it together, we'd probably have a great time because it'd be an even battlefield, right? And it just sounds like that kind of thing. Sometimes as a teacher, you just have to realize, or tell them ahead of time, guys, I'm going to stomp you. It's just how it works.
Give yourself a handicap.
When this is a different, I don't think I would have stomped you guys just because of how good you guys are at games. But when I first taught you guys all Dune Imperium, I sat out and I just taught it instead of playing with you guys, right? Because I thought it would help. There were so many intricacies in the decisions you guys were going to have to make and the effects on the cards. I was like, I'll just sit out so I can look at all your guys' hands and kind of teach that way, right?
And there is a luck aspect to it of the timing of when these deed cards come out and stuff like that. So, I mean... I don't have a problem with luck in games. I really don't. And that game functionally is very good. But once you get to a certain level, right, an experience level, you're just not, it's not even a thing. Julia and I are just playing a game, and we're like Doom. Bob's like. He's got the blackboard.
A beautiful mind.
Yeah, I think it's just like the Arcane Wonders. Once I've figured those games out,
you've solved it.
Yeah, and it's kind of like this because smartphone was the same way. Arcane Wonders,
sure.
Yeah,
and then this one. So yeah.
So, anyways, after I was done being miserable, I went and played the Misery Index stuff.
Oh no, you were nailing it. He's like, oh, that's terrible. Playing a game with Bob. Yeah, that's like a.
I was going to say Spencer pulled a card that was play Foundations of Rome again
with Bob.
Tim's 100.
120. So we played Stuff Happens. Yeah. I enjoyed it. I had zero expectations. It was much better than I thought it was. I like Timeline. I thought this was fun for the same reasons you're talking about. Is more fun engaging in the conversations about the stuff.
Literally, the first time Spencer pulled it out, I was like, this is just going to be another dumb throwaway party game. Spencer loves those. No offense, you just do. And I tend to not. Yeah. And I was like, it's going to be a dumb throwaway party game. And then he set it up, he explained the rules, and I said, oh, it's Timeline.
Yeah.
I like it.
Yeah. I didn't even realize it was Timeline until you explained it. I'm like, oh yeah, you're right. It is Timeline.
So after Stuff Happens, we played On Tour, which is fine. I like On Tour. It's a good game.
Mm-hmm. There's right?
There's new ones coming
Kickstarter.
Soon.
Yep. There's Kickstarter for BoardGameTables.com. It's got that Kabuto Sumo. Yep. QE.
Yeah, but they're coming out with new maps, right? I think it's Europe.
Europe.
I think it was the only game I won that day.
And then we played Wavelength. Yeah. We basically made everybody in the house play Wavelength.
Yeah.
That was fun.
It was 8 versus 8.
Yeah, 6v6 or something like that.
It was a lot of us. And it was pretty funny. There was lots of good conversations. Yeah. Good time.
Again, another game that the fun is the talking.
The game is Sean trying to pretend like he's on our team. I don't know. Do you really think that's that high? I mean, you probably ought to go up and down. You're not even on our team. Get out of
here. Then we played Decrypto.
Yeah.
This game of Decrypto was fun, but it took a long time.
It took a while, but
it took way too long.
Oh, well, I won last time, so I wasn't there, so it took you guys a long time to figure it out.
Well, in our defense, we lost because Julia flipped the numbers in her head. But I knew every word.
They knew every one of our words. We didn't know any of their words.
Wow.
Yeah.
But
after 6 rounds,
that gave me an idea. When we had king as a word, Queen was put down, Wenceslas was put down, I'd be like, it's king. But if we had...
But Mike had no idea what Wenceslas was. Did you know that? You knew
Julia
that?
knew what it was.
Okay, Julia. That's my sister. That's
but,
my
we had a word genius, and in my head I went, Wile E. Coyote. What if instead of using genius, we just did everything for Wile E. Coyote to try to throw them off?
Right.
Oh, right.
And of course, Wiley's the only one here who's a genius.
And that's what we started doing. Is we started cluing to our clues instead of cluing to our.
Exactly.
That's what I was.
But I couldn't communicate it to them.
Yeah, we should have done that. That would have gone a lot better. So Decrypto, that was pretty good. Then I got to play DC Deck Builder, Heroes United. Played that one. Played it normal. Did not win.
No, you did not
Had
win.
a good time. Yeah.
I didn't have that good of a time just because
You were playing with
I
Tim?
was no.
I just went
actually,
over
it
this.
wasn't Tim. It was a guy on the other side of me. Kept taking every single thing
Oh,
that I
sure.
needed, and I ended up with like
Accidental hate drafting.
Oh, and I had very bad luck. I will admit, very bad luck with my
I don't
hands.
remember
Like
who was on the other side of you.
Patrick.
Patrick,
No.
it was Patrick.
Was Patrick?
Yeah.
No. Oh, he played? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Um,
good
he
bet,
won.
Patrick. He did
Yeah,
win.
yeah, he won by a lot.
That's why you blanked it out.
So,
that he played.
like,
Yeah.
I would get a hand that had really cool stuff. By the time it got around to
Yeah.
me, half has been discarded,
Yeah.
and then my next hand
That's what Bob
is
hates
total
about the game.
crap.
That's what I had because there was probably 4 or 5 turns where I had like 3 cards in my hand,
Yeah,
and I
Way
was just
better.
like,
Terrible. Design better.
yeah, design better. Thank you, Dan.
You know, I'm working on some
More card destruction
I'm
because like, there
working
was
on
like
some
3
more
card
cards.
destruction cards that came out, and you grabbed them right away.
Oh, I did.
Yeah, and
Well,
so
only because
Yeah.
Spencer passed on one.
I
of them.
shouldn't have
Yeah.
passed on it.
He looked at it really hard.
it
too.
wasn't until the end when you had a final. You're like, well, all my starting cards are gone, so here I'll pass you this destruction card. And I was
Yeah.
like, oh, finally, and I played it like once or twice.
It was almost, I knew it was almost the end of the game. So I
Yeah.
was like, okay. So, anyways, we played the Heroes United specific. That was the second standalone expansion
Yep.
for DC. Then Cammie, my niece, she's like, I wanna do like something that's a puzzle. I'm like, okay. So busted out Micro Macro,
Oh,
Crime
okay.
City,
Okay.
and we
Nice.
played like 4 of those.
Nice.
Like I started off on like an easier one, and it was me, her, and my wife. We were going through it, and my wife, and we're just like going through. We're solving them, and then we grabbed like one of the 5s, and that one was awesome because it was like somebody got killed, who had motive, and so now you're trying to find these people that have motive. Well, multiple people have motive, and then it's like, then you've got to find like track them, each one of them, to see where
They go.
they go to see what they did. Maybe they did it. Maybe they didn't do it. It got really wild, really complicated.
motive and opportunity.
And yeah, so my niece was like, Cammie loved it. So we had a
Nice.
really good time. Kelly likes playing that game anyways, you know. So
Okay.
it was good for me because it's like, okay, you know,
Right.
I got a game in with my wife, a game she loves.
Right.
You
Right.
know, got to play. And then we played Sword Crafters,
Oh, okay.
which is where like
Awesome.
I split, you choose, you know what I mean? So everybody
Yeah.
splits a set of tiles up, and then you draft your set of tiles and you stack it up and you build your sword, and the tiles have
Okay.
gems on them.
It is that one. Okay.
Interesting.
And then you get points for like runs on your gems. We were playing with the sword tips. So the sword tips will tell you like if you got 3 purple and 1 blue on this side, get 6 points.
All
and
right.
then
Full house.
and I
Yeah.
totally jacked myself because I had my sword tip things all lined up perfectly, except they didn't fit on that side of the sword.
Oh.
Sure.
Yeah, play
That's a
better.
bummer. Yeah, I should have.
Yeah.
I should have. I don't remember if Cam won that or Kelly, but I did not. During the day, also, 2 different points in time, we played Platypus.
Okay.
At
Oh,
like,
that's right. We did.
We played at like 8 players,
Nice.
and it was hilarious.
I bet.
yeah.
Nothing like playing that game with your, 15, 16-year-old niece, and the adjective flaccid comes out, and she's like, what's that mean?
my god.
Yikes.
And we're like, sounds like you guys need to have a conversation with your daughter. But it was hilarious.
Yeah.
Michael Jackson
just
came up, Chernobyl came up.
means,
She's like,
you
who are these
know.
people? Like,
But she knew Michael Jackson. And then Sean, calling you out, Sean, you play the worst adjectives that I've, worse than Spencer.
Wow.
And Spencer through some weird ones sometimes.
I had a really crappy hand. I was like, I gotta.
Well, even when we played here, because we played it like a week ago, even when we played it here,
Yeah,
you threw a
yeah.
weird one, and it's like, but yeah, like the word was Titanic,
Okay.
and Sean plays Savage,
Nice.
and he's like, well, that iceberg savaged the Titanic, and it's like,
Oh my god.
dude, you're killing me.
Right?
You are killing me. But yeah, no, we had a really good time. Platypus was a big hit.
Yep.
Everybody seemed to like it. And then we rounded out the night. I played, I'm not going to go into all of it because we have other things to talk about, but I tried out a variant that I've been thinking of for DC Deck Builder.
Oh, nice.
And I think it's got some potential. I thought there were people that were going to leave when I started setting it up, and they didn't. So then I was forced into like a much larger version of this game than really should have been played.
Sure.
So I'm not judging it based on that. But basically, I'm trying to do a thing where there's every type of card is available in the lineup at any
Right.
given time. And then you kind of
okay.
work around
Yeah.
that.
So
And then
almost
the
like a
lineup-
Dominion style type of.
but then the lineup can expand also. So if if a superpower is in purchase, then one comes out. So it makes it now the next
It's 2 stacks.
the next player's
basically.
got two
options.
options, and then they can't go out. So you can't have more than 3 of each kind.
Mm-hmm.
So that way, some cards are still useful if it's like gain all the superpowers from the lineup. Well, then you just top deck and you get the other 2, right?
Yeah.
Showing. So just trying to come up with ways to make other people like a game that I like. We always come up with fun variants anyways because we played it so much where it's like we run with 2 heroes, run with this and just to mess around with it. But I mean, a game that you enjoy and know inside and out, you do whatever the heck you want with it. It's your game, right? So have fun with it.
I had 2 other ones. That I got
go for it.
So while you were busy doing one other thing, I taught Picture Perfect.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that was a bunch of fun. I really liked that one. I bought it for myself. I'm going to take it to Origins with us with the 5 to 6 player expansion so we can play more people.
Oh,
but it's
you
great.
might be able to pick up some expansions for it at Origins.
Whoop, whoop. Cool. Because, it's neat because there's all these, everybody has all these standees in your own little photo booth. And there's all these envelopes, and all the envelopes have 3 cards in there, and there's specific things like, this person wants to stand next to this person wants to be in the back or in the front. And you all have just a little bit of information, and you're trying to set up what you can. And then there's these swap cards, and you flip a swap card over, it'll be like, swap a card or swap a folder with one in the middle, swap them with a player to the right or the left, or take 2 folders from any player. And so you're just kind of swapping them all around and trying to arrange everybody in your photo to the best you can. And at the end, once all the swap cards are done, you go through each envelope, you pull them out, everybody scores them all, and as long as you're able to appease the people, you earn points for them and whatnot. It's a fun game.
It's a good game.
Did you review that game at one
We
point?
did a review for that game somewhere.
It's
Probably
in Spencer's
be
eye.
somewhere. Yeah, probably over there. And then late last night, I went home with the dog out, sitting around kind of bored. My friend Levi was not around to play on the computer, so I messaged Mike. And Mike came over late, and we played...
Rise?
Yes, Rebellion.
Oh, yeah.
Nice. I tried to message him to come over and learn Perseverance with me. He's like, well, I'm kind of tired. He's like, if we're going to do something, it's got to be something all out, good for 2 players. And I was like, Rebellion? He's like, that's the game I was thinking. So he's like, all right, I'm in.
I'm kind of tired.
Yeah, I'm kind of tired. Only had a 3-hour game.
3 to 4 hours.
Super intense.
Yeah. But he loves that game, and I love that game.
It's one of my favorites.
Yeah, we had such a good time playing it. I'm like, since we both want to play, I was like, I really don't care what side I am. I go, pick what side you don't get to play very often. So he chose Empire. So I started setting it up, and I chose Illume, which was 2 planets away from Coruscant. And he thought for sure I was way back here somewhere, and he spent his whole time trying to get out. And all I was doing was taking out his transport ship. So he had a planets full of AT-ATs, AT-STs, all these ground troops. Couldn't move them anywhere. It was awesome. I won.
That's so good.
Yeah.
That's
such a great game.
Good. It is.
Yeah.
It's one of my favorites. All right, guys. That's games played.
That's a lot
right?
of games played.
Yep.
So we're going to go into news. News is really just going to be stuff coming out of Origins that I find interesting, and then anything else you guys have.
Sure.
News, boys.
So since we just talked about Picture Perfect, I don't remember if it's going to be demo only or if it's going to be available at Origins. But there's a Movie Stars expansion and a Pickpocket expansion.
Nice. Okay.
So not sure what those do.
Yeah.
But that is something that we can watch for while we're there.
Yeah.
Also, super important, while we're talking about Origins, we are all going to be at Origins. The 4 of us, we are going to be at Origins. We are going to be working at the DV Games booth. So that's Bang. That is Wonder Book. That's Detective,
Deckscape.
and Deckscape.
Oh, yep.
So come by, say hi. Even if you're not interested in any of those games, that's fine.
Yeah.
Say hey to us. Find us later for a game. We'll probably be wearing Board Game Rundown hats or shirts or something, right? We also will be demoing Wonder Book there. So if you are interested in Wonder Book, we've got a video of it, but we would love to, just play a session with you, a little tutorial.
Yeah, they got a tutorial session set up.
It's not like a full thing or anything. It's just a real quick, this is what we do, this is what happens, and give you an idea of what you're in for.
Yep.
And even let you look at the book, right? It's really cool.
Yeah.
So anyways, we will be at Origins. And we'd love to, say hey to you. So anyways, a game that will be popular in my household. I believe it's going to be for sale, and I'm going to have to buy it, or I will not be allowed back in the house, and I know you guys won't care. But Reiner Knizia has a card game called Llama that we play in my house.
Yeah.
There's a dice version. Llama Dice. I don't know what that means, but it looks like a dice version of Llama.
Sure.
Where you're rolling the dice and getting rid of your cards and things like that. It will probably just be a blind buy for me because it is Llama. My kids love it. My wife loves it. And, if I'm going to sit and play games, oh my gosh, I totally forgot. I played like King of Tokyo a bunch of times too with the kids on my actual birthday.
Oh, okay.
It was super fun. And great game. My 10-year-old can play it, understands it.
Right.
And it's
my
super
60-year-old loves to play that game.
Yeah.
He doesn't pick things very well, but he loves to play the
who
game.
cares? He's having a good time. Anyways.
And no, he will. He will.
Foundations of Rome will be available at Origins.
Nice.
So if you want Bob to like walk you through a strategy, that's the guy. If you want to know how to play and not have a lot of fun, talk to me.
Yep.
No, I mean I had fun. It's just tough. Also, super excited. The Cult of the Deep, guys. Cult of the Deep is going to be at Origins. We're actually going to pick up a copy there. And
I have Cult of the Deep news. Also, besides that, so along with Cult of Deep Wallet will be available at Origins on their backer kit, which will be open until June 13th, which is the end of Origins.
Oh yeah,
you can get on there and order the wooden box to hold everything.
Man,
I got that email and I was like, Bob's definitely done that.
It looks so cool. I want
tagged
to so
Bob
bad.
in their Facebook post.
It looks nice.
We'll
see,
dude. It looks
we'll see.
so good.
Yep.
Also, Wonder Book is going to be at Origins. You're going to be able to buy it there. So if you demo it or if you've seen a video on it, whether it's ours or anybody else's, and it looks like something interesting to you, it is pricey, but I will tell you that the secrets like in that thing, like no joke. It's pretty, people's faces light up. And we're all like heavier gamers, right? But when you're like,
you still has that wow factor.
yeah, there's a lot of wow
We're all in
factor
our
to it.
30s and 40s and we're like,
What?
Cool.
Yeah. It's legit. It's legit cool. It's very cool. And just so you know, also back to Cult of the Deep, that's sort of like Bang with like cultists.
Yeah,
For
it's
sure.
A great
Yeah.
game.
It's if you like Bang, which you should pick up in Origin.
Well, at the booth we will be at.
Right, but also just a great game. I've talked about it for many years. It's similar, but with a Cthulhu theme and some interesting like location elements.
Yeah,
going on.
like ritual stuff. Too.
Yeah.
Virtual stuff.
Yeah, I think I can't wait to get my hands on like a physical copy of that again because we had a review copy and we had to send it away.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun.
Yeah, the art was
it
pretty
was
good on
good.
that, wasn't it? I like the art on that too.
Yeah.
Yeah,
The art's
cool.
fantastic.
Yeah.
The art's fantastic, and those wood boxes, man. Those wood boxes.
Very
I'll
cool.
check it out when Bob brings it in.
Yeah, absolutely.
One game that I would like to find at Origins, and it's from our friends. I say friends. I call them friends.
Yeah.
At Grand Gamers Guild, is that Aldabas, the Doors of Cartagena?
You tried really hard on
We
that
did.
Do you know, are you guys familiar with that at all?
Not at all.
one. Not by your pronunciation. No, I
Okay.
don't think I've seen it.
Aldabas.
I'm not saying you're wrong.
Aldabas.
I'm just saying like
I know. Yeah, I know. I can envision it, but I
The
don't-
Doors
know
of
the game,
Cartagena.
no.
So in Cartagena, I guess like your social status, like you project your social status by having like a really elaborate door on the front of your house,
Makes
maybe
sense.
with like a big
Okay.
knocker, like a carved, like a lion's
Some
head.
big
Poncho.
knockers on that door.
Yeah,
It's
well, thank you.
prestigious.
So, anyways, what it is you're like you're getting these cards and you're like building your neighborhood. So you're building like sets based on like the doors that you are collecting and then like
Okay.
playing down in front of you. So you're building your neighborhood and you're attracting people based on the on the doors and everything. I don't know. I think it's a really neat concept. I like Grand Gamers Guild stuff
Yeah,
kind of as a
same.
rule.
Yep.
So usually anything that they put out that like is worth a look to me. Hey, there it is right there.
Yeah.
And but yeah, so to me it is definitely worth checking out. So if I can buy a copy or get a copy from Origins, I'm definitely gonna do that because I think the artwork's really neat.
Yeah, I'll be mentioning the Grand Gamers Guild in our Kickstarter
weird.
news.
Does anybody else have any other news before I go into one other thing?
Yeah, a small bit of news. So the Greater Than Games, they're the ones responsible for Spirit Island, one of my favorite difficult co-op games. They've taken their initial 2 promo packs, Promo Pack 1 and 2, and created an expansion for it called Feather and Flame. So if you've missed out on some of those promo packs and spirits that are kind of hard to get, now you can go on their website and order them and get them in for yourself.
I guess I can mention I got the email that the Hegemony Pledge Manager is open.
There you
So
go.
if you back that game, keep an eye out. You're going to be able to fulfill your address information, all that stuff soon, and it's probably going to be like a fall.
Yeah, they have a late pledge available for that too. Like if you missed out, you can get
I
on there
didn't
and-
see that in there, but it probably is, right?
Okay.
It's
It's
it was on
typical-
Kickstarter, and
Yeah.
it's like it seemed like a
People
normal.
usually like money.
Right.
Yeah.
Typically.
So Skeptics is shipping soon.
Oh, nice.
I'm really excited to actually like play a physical copy
Yeah.
of that game
Yeah.
as well. John Uziak
Yep.
made that, and I know at Origins we're also going to probably get to meet like Dennis Furia.
Oh, nice.
From Deck of Wonders.
Yeah, he said he was going to be there.
And I mean, he's practically local because he's from Cincinnati. And then I believe Reed is going to be there from Vigilante.
Sure.
So like it'll be awesome to see some of these people in person.
Right.
But anyways, so there's a game that we talked about when it came to Kickstarter. It looked awesome, but I just could not back it when it came out. Sheol.
Oh yeah, sure.
Oh yes.
Did you
I
one?
wanted that so bad.
Yeah,
you
me
see
too.
the issues that they're having.
Oh.
And this is terrible
no.
because this is like a legit issue for small independent publishers, which is what they are. And they have come up with this really ambitious game and it funded very well. The problem is shipping costs are still
Skyrocketing.
crazy.
Yeah.
I mean, crazy. And so basically what has happened is they're in this predicament where they have basically as their studio, they put aside X amount of money to pay for shipping the shipping issues were not an issue when they had originally funded the Kickstarter, right? But this game has been in production for 2 years, right? And that's when everything started to ramp up and get all crazy and the prices are terrible. But they basically have to come up with 70,000 euros to ship their game, to get their games out of Asia.
Oh man.
Because they don't have, I mean, it's just a very small group of people that worked on this game as a passion project. And it's really tough. I like what they've done. I hope that it gets received well. But, I mean, they basically went to the backers and said, we have to raise this much money because what'll happen is if we don't get those games basically off of the dock and into those containers, they destroy them. So it's not even that the game company, is holding the games hostage.
Right.
They don't even, their hands are tied. Now, I don't know what they could have done different or better. There are people that know way more about the industry that might have comments, but for the most part, they've done a halfway decent job of raising a bunch of the money. They basically, I forget how much exactly, they have basically asked everybody to throw in like 30 more bucks per all in and 20 more per core box backers.
Sure.
They can't do refunds because
they've already paid the money out.
and it's not going to retail.
Yeah.
So like one of the things they're going to do is they're going to give like a lifetime 10% off discount, for all future games. And hopefully they're able to make more games. Because I feel like this thing sucks because Simon, you know what I mean? And Asmodee, right? And Queen and all these other games.
Worry about that.
All these other companies that use crowdfunding, they can absorb that. They might not like it. And they might pass it on to the consumer, right, in different ways. But they can absorb it, at least initially.
Right.
Where like a little independent person, I mean, it's just...
I know,
and
man. I wish you could just like rent a semi or something. Just go over there, like, throw them in the back of the truck, guys. Let's get them out of
and
here.
Drive
and
this across
really,
the ocean.
Like driving to Europe and it'd be just...
It's
get
really
them out from there,
expensive. It's really expensive to produce games in the United States and produce games of good quality too, right? I mean, even more expensive.
Yeah.
So, anyways, they're making progress. The game, I didn't back it. The game looks amazing still. Like, I think that the people that are, there's a lot of people very passionate about the game. So I think that those people are, I have faith that they're going to pull it through. I hope that this group of designers is able to persevere through this. And because you never know, there's people in our community, that are very unforgiving and they're very me now, this is this. And there's people that are a little more kind-hearted and a little more, understanding. And I don't feel like that this is a con job or, a bad, somebody working in bad faith. I really don't. But anyways, I just wanted to talk about that for a minute because it's like, gosh, that sucks. Because if I could have backed it, I would have at the time. It was not a cheap game, but I also probably would have gone, man, that sucks, and I would have sent the money without even thinking about it. I wouldn't have loved it. Like, like terrible. But I want my game, and these people, they're not making any money off of everybody else sending the extra shipping money, right? So
yeah, it's tough.
Yeah, it's brutal, man. It is brutal. They came up with a way because they can't do refunds, but I think they had like pledge swap kind of options where you could like let people that missed out on the pledge like take over and things like that. So, anyways, that's my last bit of news. Is just the Sheol
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's
SHEO.
like a level of
Yeah.
hell or something, right? Isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a,
that
yeah,
was
it's a
really
circle of hell,
Didn't we?
which is what they are now in with shipping.
Oh, sorry, that was actually that thought. What I was going to say was, part of me wonders if, the problem is I know a lot of people are having the same problem, right? But part of me wonders, could they just do a GoFundMe style thing where they just explain their thing, and then instead of saying everyone give $30 extra, people could just give any amount of money they wanted, because some people might give $1,000 if they could.
I think that they've left that open,
Right.
But what they did is they came to their Kickstarter backers with a plan,
Right.
And they're like, we've done the math. If everybody does this, at this minimum, we're gold.
We're covered.
But I think that there's probably a mix of yes. People are like, yes, I will pay $100 to help out, right?
Well, I was just wondering, because if you did the more open source thing, not specifically that site, but just something like that, I just feel like, again, I know that everyone's having this kind of problem right now, but I feel like other designers would help out.
Sure.
They'd see what's going on right now, and they'd be like, I can give this much to help this company.
Some kind of
that
angel
kind of
investor
thing.
type of thing.
Yeah, I just feel like other designers would understand and try to help out, but if they could. But if, in this current situation, from what I understand, I guess obviously they could just send them money, right? Secretly, and then that would be fine too. But anyway, just a thought.
No, it's tough. It's really tough, and I think that you don't do the GoFundMe. I think the thinking behind it, not necessarily why you don't do it, is just to the optics, right? If you go to your backers and you try to be as transparent as possible, they break down all the numbers in the update.
Yep.
And I read it I was just like, wow! I was just reading and reading and reading. Like, oh my gosh, this is brutal. So yeah. And I'm sure that there's a lot of people that have weighed in with their 2 cents.
Sure.
One thing I don't do on a lot of those is read the comments.
okay.
Because it's like, because there's people that are going to be very nice, and and then there's going to be people that are just terrible.
Yeah.
And it's like, why are you even,
Yeah.
what are you doing?
Makes them feel better.
Yeah, I guess.
Yeah.
I guess. What makes me feel better? Losing in Foundations of Realm to Bob.
It made me
And
feel
I'm here
better.
for you, bud.
You talk
I'm
about
here.
it.
You let me know.
I appreciate the support. All right, guys, let's go into Kickstarters.
All right.
Yep. Crowdfunding. I got a small one I'll talk about really quick. It's actually one that caught my eye because they're in our Facebook group and they've been sharing pictures. And when I was doing my crowdfunding research, I wasn't finding a lot that was super interesting to me. And I was like, I logged into our Facebook and I was like, what was that one that those people shared? Because that looked interesting, pretty. And so I looked it up. And it was called Dock Fighters by Marcus Geiger. I'm going to say Geiger. Maybe it's Geiger, but Geiger sounds cool. Dock Fighters. You have until June 16th to check this one out. It is a 1 to 4 player game, plays in 90+ minutes because there's a bunch of different modes. You can do solo and co-op and campaign and skirmish and all that kind of stuff. There is an AI that you can play against depending on your mode. It is a bit expensive. It starts at $107 and it goes up to ridiculously high, but the highest one I wrote was $321.
And why is it so expensive, Daniel?
Well, it's just so expensive because it comes with a lot of high quality components and minis.
We don't like those.
No.
Yeah, technically the more expensive ones, like the $321, is because you also get the base game hand painted by them as well.
Nice.
That is what they've been sharing on our Facebook.
Yeah, they look really good,
They
too.
are stunning. Their
Yeah.
hand
Yeah.
paint jobs are.
This sounds like something that
amazing.
the board game mechanics would be interested
Right,
in. I'm
yeah.
looking at you,
Super
Jason.
into it.
I know you like drop some money on some hand-painted minis.
So these are I honestly don't know, but from the look, it looks like a World War II style skirmish game, kind of like an X-wing and the Armada, those kind of things. But there's just a lot of basic mechanics here, which also go into why it's so expensive, because even the base game is $107, and that's not painted, and that is really expensive for me, and I think it's kind of too expensive. And then you look at what they're doing, though, and it's totally understandable. It's understandable, especially because Tim and I, one of the games we're brainstorming, has a thing in it that we've been talking about this game's going to be extremely expensive if we actually do our idea, right? And that is that the game comes with a bunch of high-quality magnet devices so that you can, move your planes around, and you can change their altitude and stuff, and that all happens in game. So magnets are a huge part of it. Also, the ships have holes in them to where you can upgrade your ship and stick stuff on. I think they're magnets, which is weird to me why they have holes too. Maybe the holes are not related to the magnet parts you're sticking on, and maybe that's just for an assembly thing, but just on the pictures they have holes. But so it shows like a person has like a big Zeppelin and they like stick another fan on it and then stick like a top mounted gun on it and stuff. It's just like, okay, you can like
it's like
customize
Gas
your
Wars, but with
units.
planes.
Right.
It's kind of what it is, but without having to like do all the work. Like they give you,
Right.
They give you all, which I am all for. Because
There's a
spoiler alert, I'm lazy.
There's see-through hexes on stands that are kind of in shapes and stuff, not just one, but like kind of in shapes that are clouds. So if you go up to the altitude of the clouds, you can put your plane in it, and I assume it makes you harder to hit and stuff like that, right? But so that's a cool little mechanic in there. The bases have kind of what we were talking about lately with Sorcerer's Arena. They have kind of a rotating base. I believe they said in the thing the base is also magnetic, but it's this rotating base that they say, I only see one thing in numbers on it, but they say the bases track your speed, your altitude, and your pilot's experience. Which is for like campaign type stuff, I think, right? You like upgrade your units and stuff between, it just looks really cool. I like X-Wing a lot. I like World War II or World War I, whichever one this is. It just looks more II to me. But I like that era of combat and everything, and I like a lot of the stuff they're putting into this game. The idea with the magnets and stuff is just fantastic, and how that's going to play into the game, because that's the kind of stuff that in X-Wing they didn't care to, probably because they wanted they're going to be more simple. They didn't care about that. They were just like, it's in space. You guys, there is no up, there is no down. You guys can shoot each other no matter where you are, right? Even though you can set their altitude with your sticks, that was just for looks and so that the models didn't run into each other, right? But like, so in a game like this, how is that going to actually affect gameplay with being above and below people? And like, if you go above them, can you do like the whole like nose dive, and how does that change things and stuff like that? And there's an intricate movement system depending on your plane's type about how slowly it has to turn when it's coming to a stop and stuff. A lot of really genius ideas in here. Like, they wanted realism, clearly.
It feels very crunchy, but in a good way.
Yeah.
Like X-Wing is simpler,
Right.
but I mean, there's still stuff with X-Wing, but this feels like if you like X-Wing, but you want like a little bit more in World War II.
Yeah.
But yeah, it
For
looks
sure.
really neat. I think the models, like all their hand-painted models, look fantastic. And I love the magnets thing. I bought at a convention off of a guy. I knew what I was getting. It was like the Star Trek Fleet Captains. It's like the Whiz Kids, like Star Trek game. And so you've got your ships, and they've got the dial on the bottom, kind of like a HeroClix.
HeroClix, yeah.
So it's got your stats on there. And you're exploring tiles, and you can interact with the other players, right, and attack and everything. But the guy had taken them all off of the stands because they were breaking, and he did magnets,
Right.
and the magnets make
then
it
you
nice
can-
and easy.
Then you can have your ships kind of angle and
and
stuff.
it just they click together. They're easy to store. I really like it. Anyway, so yeah, anytime you can come up with something new and kind of neat is pretty cool.
and thematic.
It's very thematic. It's super cool.
I'm going to take us all the way to the other end of the gaming spectrum.
Okay,
No way. You
party game.
Party game?
Celtic. Stones.
No, it's not Celtic. It's Japanese.
Okay.
There's an anime out there called Bananya, which is a little cat that lives in a banana. It's
Naturally.
super cutesy.
Of course.
Like
Of
they
course.
do.
Yeah. It's from Japanime Games. It's till June 16th. It's a 2 to 4 set collection kind of game that very much family, so my kids will probably love it. There are 10 different Bananyas, the cats, and you're trying to collect all 10 of them. The box itself, you flip it upside down, inside is the litter box. So that's your discard pile.
Well, they can't go in the banana.
No,
So you have a
obviously.
draw pile and the discard pile, and you can either draw one from the top, or you can take any one from the discard pile.
From the litter box.
So the litter box. So now you have the the strategy of, am I going to use this card because someone else could use it against me?
Right.
I mean, it's a pretty simple thing. Like I said, it's very cute looking, and it's also cheap. The base game is only $15.
Right on. Yeah, not bad.
There's the KS exclusive box, and there's 4 expansions. They're all going to be KS exclusive.
Did you not feel like saying Kickstarter?
Yeah, Kickstarter.
Okay.
All right,
Just
sure.
making sure.
$25, and if you want everything, it's $60. But
Okay.
yeah, it's not bad.
Ba-
Pretty simple.
Banana. What did you say?
Bananya.
Banana.
Bananya.
I'm
Nunya.
really glad I asked.
Banana.
Yeah. Bobby. you got one?
So real quick. So Tim had mentioned the Grand Gamers Guild.
Yes.
They have the first expansion for the Artemis project is now on Kickstarter. It's called Satellites and Commanders. It's going to add, guess what? Satellites
Wait.
and
sergeants.
no commanders. So
dang.
close. You were close. You had the first one. They're also releasing a second edition rule book that you'll be able to pick up. They tweak a couple of the rules in there. Is that after everybody's played the original game so much, they changed a couple of things. But it's a dice placement game for 1 to 5 players. The expansions for $30, or you can get the expansion and the base game for $99. And they do have some other ones that go up from there, like some of their other games that you can get and collectors stuff. Also, if you just want to order the expansion, you'll be able to order a second edition rule book to add to your first game.
Oh, sure.
So that's kind of cool. Although there is only 5 days left at time of filming, so this is going to drop Wednesday. You got like till Friday. To
Yeah,
get on
that's
there.
why it's important you ring that bell.
That's right. That's right. Yes, because this time it's me, but sometimes it's other people.
I think it's you.
A lot of times it is
Hold on.
you.
Let's
Do we
get
have
out
a
a list of people
who
didn't
it
do
is
that
this
today.
It's not me.
Crap.
Spence?
But yeah,
Congratulations, Spencer. It's not you.
Congratulations.
It's definitely not
This
me.
one time. But yeah, but that's it. So really great
Bob.
dice placement game.
Hi.
Hi. Check it out though. Artemis Project. It's a fun game. Satellites Commanders is
I've
great.
been really- I haven't
again,
played it
Grand
yet.
Gamers Guild.
Yeah.
It's always
Yeah.
worth a look. I
Yep.
love Endangered. I
Yep.
really like their little small box mystery game. You know what I mean? The incidents.
Yeah, the Incidents Crisis or whatever. Like
Yeah, all
Cupid
of
Crisis and then all those,
Independence
yeah.
Incident.
Yeah, those are
Pringle
fun.
Caper. I like all of those. So yeah, Grand Gamers Guild.
Yep.
Gorinto, right?
Gorinto.
I mean, that's a big
Another
one.
great one,
That's
yep.
a really good one. All right, guys. Last one that I will talk about is one that we did a video for.
I don't believe you.
What? It's Santa's Little Elves. That's Bruno Feduti, I believe, and this is like a very lightweight tile. You're laying out some
collection.
tiles, set collection. You are going to pick a number. Like you're going to set your die to a number. That's the location the toy you're gonna steal from. And then your neighbor gets an opportunity to guess what one they think you're going to take. And if they guess correctly, they take it instead of you.
Yep.
It's a fun little kind of press your luck, read your opponents, kind of game. Super light. I think it's pretty fun. But yeah, Christmas themed. All the elves are cranky because they work every day but one of the year. So they're going to steal some toys for themselves, sell them on the internet, and go off to, probably not Christmas Island, but,
Aruba.
some vacation island.
Yeah. I feel like that'd be the first place Santa would check.
Or
would be-
the
would be
last.
Christmas Island.
Or the last.
You're right. He could be right next to Coruscant.
Yeah. Could be
True.
two
Right
planets
next to
away
it. Two
from
planets
Coruscant.
away, yeah.
Sorry about that, Mike.
That was
Ooh, bad
fantastic.
choice.
He's like, well, I don't think you'd come over here. I'm like, we totally wouldn't do that.
But anyway, Santa's Little Elves. That's going to be ending soon, but it is funded, so it's safe, Dan.
Yep, it
is
is.
safe. Which I'm hoping that means we get a copy of it for a review, like a finished product copy review. But anyways, that's pretty much all I've got for news and crowdfundings and whatever.
Beans.
I guess one little last bit of news. Sorcerer's Arena is going to actually be coming out soon. It's better than you think. We've got a video of it talking all about it. They have announced their first expansion will also be coming out soon. It's 3 characters. It is Stitch, it is Davy Jones, and Moana, I believe. So again, even if you don't care about the characters, like they're actually pretty fun. Like Demone from Gargoyles.
Gargoyles, yeah.
Really no idea about her, and she was one of my most powerful characters when we played. And
Did you ever watch the show?
a little.
It's got a cult following.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
I was
do a lot of
watching.
bad things.
I was watching more like Rescue Rangers. Like if they do like a Chip and Dale, I'm in. Right?
Right.
Gummy bears. They got a Gummy Bears. I'm in.
Yeah.
Darkwing Duck.
Darkwing Duck.
Yeah.
Actually, I'll go one better.
Dark-
Count Duckula,
Darkheart.
which is not owned by Disney, but I wish that we could get Count Duckula back because I love Count Duckula and Danger Mouse. Give me some Danger Mouse too.
Danger Mouse.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Because I'd run that pinfold combo, right? We'd just be going the whole time. Anyways, nobody else knows or
Nope.
cares.
Nope.
Anyways, guys,
I'll sing the song for you guys. I know it.
You're good.
I guess that's all we got,
That's
right?
it.
That's
I think
it
so.
for today. So, like always, thank you for watching. Be sure to check out all the other shows we have on the Game Talk Network channel. There's the Magic the Gathering Rundown, Pokemon Rundown, and Miniatures Rundown. They cover everything we don't.
Well, they cover exactly what their
Names
is.
say that they do.
Right. It's a
Correct.
very simple system. Right.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes. Also, check out our friends Jason and Katie at the Board Game Mechanics. They're pretty okay. They're also going to be at Origins, and they're doing a thing right now where they've got shirts.
Oh, yeah.
Where you can. So if you go over to like hashtag The Riveted, which is their Facebook group, you can find them. And they've got link to buy shirts. I'm going to try to trade like some board game rundown stuff for a shirt. Nice. I want a shirt.
I was going to say, we need to, our first market item needs to be miniatures of all their market items.
Oh, good idea.
You know
Little silk screened shirt meeples,
exactly.
but it's their shirt, but like on a silk screen
and like
meeple.
the gears from their logo and just miniatures of all their stuff.
Sounds good. Sounds really good. That'll be pretty okay.
Really okay.
Right on, guys. For the board game rundown, I've been Tim.
I was Bob.
I'm Spencer.
Dan.
We'll see you next time.
Thanks for checking out the Board Game Rundown. If you like what you saw, like, comment, and subscribe to our channel. Share our videos on social media and spread the word. We publish new content weekly, including reviews, unboxing, and Let's Plays. And as always, thanks for watching.